Hello, it's Lisa Carmen, and this is the BodyLove Affair video blog. I know it's been a while, and I apologize. I'm hoping to at least get to making video blogs once a month at the very least. Need to make it a priority and remember to do it. It's one of those things that so easily gets put to the back burner, so I'm caught up in a million other little projects and things. But I do want to connect with you more in videos. So here I am. I'm not naked. It might look like I am, but I'm wearing a sundress. But if you want to imagine me naked, you can go ahead and do that. I wanted to share with you an experience that I had. It became a teaching moment for me. It became a moment to really evaluate myself and my life and what I want to feel. And I'm hoping that you find some richness and value in it too. By watching this, and that you can use my experience to consider your own life and your own place where you might be having similar experiences in your day-to-day life. So here's the situation. Last weekend, my fiance and I went out of town, and we rented a lovely little tiny cabin on a beautiful property in Leona, Texas, surrounded by wildlife. I mean, literally, we were surrounded by wildlife. We had little ponies, miniature Shetlands in our front yard, baby ponies that were just born. We had deer eating out of our hands. There were buffalo and deer everywhere, and horses and goats and sheep and baby goats, and oh my God, it was just a lovely, lovely place, not to mention a beautiful setting, beautiful surroundings, nature, flowers, spring, wildflowers growing everywhere, great. It was just a gorgeous, gorgeous time and a gorgeous place to be. And as is my custom, for some reason, every time I go on vacation or get away, for some reason consider it liberty or license to eat whatever I want, whenever I want, however I want, all the things that I don't normally have in my life, things like chips and dip and candy and sugar and lots of junk, cakes and brownies and bagged snacks and cheese crackers and you name it, like just this nonstop snacking. I don't know what it is about being out of town, but I become ravenous. I become almost like the parents have gone out of town, so the teenager throws a wild party. That's what I do with food when I'm on vacation, when I'm out of town, and I wonder if you can relate to that. So needless to say, because my body isn't used to eating like that, I don't feel good in my body when I eat like that. I feel sluggish, and I feel heavy, and I feel weighted down, and I feel dragging, and I feel jacked up and disgusting, and I also find myself thinking negative body thoughts, constantly, really every few minutes, just sort of sending some sort of negative thought in between, Butterfinger bars, some negative thought to my body. And so I was at this beautiful place trying to have a great time with my fiance, but in the back of my head, and even in the forefront of my head, there was always this nagging little, gross, you're so this, you're so that, and that negative self-talk, you're disgusting. It was coming up and it was getting loud, and my fiance and I started to talk about it because I was feeling very, very unsexy. I didn't want to connect with him intimately. I was just not present in my body. And I realized something, and this is the important part of what I want to share with you, is that when we succumb to those negative, berating thoughts, it's basically like opening the door and letting a thief come into our home and ransack our home, stealing from us everything that is precious and valuable. Because what these thoughts were stealing from me was the peace and the connection and the intimacy and the pleasure and the ecstasy that was available to me in that moment, because I was so busy feeling bad about myself and thinking negative thoughts about myself. Those thoughts were stealing. Those thoughts became thieves. So I want you to think about your life. And I want you to think about the thoughts that you might have, and find yourself, those kind of sucked into those looping thoughts that happen in our minds when we're in a bad place, when we've been eating, poorly, making poor food choices. It starts, for me, that's a trigger. It starts that loop of negative body thoughts, and then I eat more to get that instant pleasure, and then I feel more badly about myself. So think about your life. Where are you allowing those thoughts to rob you? What are the thieves in your thought life? What are the thieves in your mind? And what are they stealing from you? Are they stealing contentment? Where do you find them creeping in? Do they sneak in when you're having an intimate moment with your partner and rob you of intimacy and connection and presence because they've taken up that space in your brain? These thieves are relentless, and I'm tired of being robbed. So I want you to ask yourself, what are you being robbed of when you let those thoughts take over? So I reached a point over my weekend where I was done. I was done letting the thieves rob from me. I was there to relax. I was there to experience pleasure and ecstasy and intimacy. I wasn't there to beat myself up. And so I had to do a lot of conscious practices, a lot of conscious thinking in order to change the way that I was thinking and in order to be present for myself. You wouldn't let a roommate steal from you day after day after day, and yet you probably let those negative thoughts steal from you on a daily basis, moment to moment basis. What are they stealing from you? And have you had enough? I have. So join me today in being conscious of your thoughts. Join me in being mindful of the things that you let in, the thieves that you let into your mind, and let's put a stop to it. There's a saying that I like to quote: we don't choose the first thought, but we get to choose the next thought. So what's your next thought going to be? That's all I have for you today. I invite you to join me at BodyLoveAffair.com to stay connected, to stay in touch and informed of events and exciting programs and offerings. I wish you the very best on your Body Love Affair journey. I know that I am loving mine. Thank you for joining me today.